What's happening, guys? So, what I want to talk about here is the idea of opinions. So, there are many matters in the world that you may have an opinion on, or maybe you don't have an opinion on, but it's something to kind of help with your mental clarity and keep your focus on what's actually important. Now, this idea that I've been practicing for a couple of years, ever since I stumbled upon Stoicism. Stoicism's it is a philosophy surrounding how to act in a virtuous way. That is the main lesson of Stoicism. Now, virtue is things with good moral acts. That's basically the definition of a virtue. And in it, there's also a lot of talk about how to live according to logic over emotions, where this point that I kind of practice comes into values when it comes to certain political issues, or let's just say political issues, anything that you can have an opinion on, really. And it's given me a lot of mental clarity, so I want to share it with you. It's the idea that, say there's a subject on, let's use Andrew Tate for an example. For me, I use a very simple system to decide how I act on a piece of information, what my opinion is on it. So I decide, and I like to do this as quickly as possible, am I for this? Am I for Andrew Tate? Am I against him? Or do I have no opinion on him? Now, I use this a lot for things that I don't care about, especially. Or I first have to decide, do I care about something? That's like the first step. Do I care? Yes. Right, I need to decide if I'm for this or if I'm against this. If I'm not really interested in something, for example, Logan Paul, the Paul brothers, I've never had any interest in them, and therefore I have no opinion on them. I'm not going to waste my time on learning whether I'm for or against Logan Paul or Jake Paul, because I don't care enough to do the research into that. For me, it's not going to affect my life whether or not I have an opinion on it. So I choose not to have an opinion on it, and I don't think about that, and therefore it does not weigh on me mentally. Now, I do think you have to have an opinion on certain things, especially when they directly affect your life, whether or not you like a certain food or a shop, or for me it's the most important is philosophy. For me, with Stoicism, I've done a lot of work into Stoicism, and like Andrew Tate as well, I've realised that, and let's use those three things, there's Stoicism, Andrew Tate and feminism. So when I talk about feminism, I talk about that, the modern feminist movement. With Andrew Tate, when I first discovered him, didn't care, didn't really have an opinion on him, but naturally as you've seen more and more of him, I started thinking, okay, this is quite a controversial sort of topic, if you want, so I'm going to decide, because it's constantly there, do I like him or do I not? Turns out I do like him. And then with Stoicism, I stumbled across it and realised maybe this could be useful to me, and that sparked the interest. So what I needed to do was figure out whether I agreed with Stoicism or whether I did not agree with Stoicism. It was a lot of these things with everything in life. There's parts that I do agree with and parts that I don't, but what is my majority feeling on that? That makes it a lot simpler for me to categorize subjects in my head. And then with modern feminism, because it's so prevalent, and because I am interested in women, I'm a heterosexual male, it does concern me. So I have to make up my mind, do I like modern feminism or do I not? I do not like modern feminism. I think it teaches bad values to women, and I'm not going to get too far into that at the moment. Maybe I'll make a video in the future about it, maybe I won't. But the thing is, for me, the way I want to live as a masculine man is not conducive to the modern feminist movement, which does not want men to live and think for themselves. They want men to be scared, they want men to be more emotional, and they want men to be softer, and that does not sit with me. I don't like that. I don't want to be that guy. I tried that and I was miserable, very miserable, because I have a masculine core, and if I don't act true to my masculinity, I'm going to be a miserable man, and therefore the values that I've seen pushed by modern feminism is not conducive to how I live my life. That doesn't mean that everything I see on every subject I instantly make a decision without even looking into it. If I'm interested enough, I'll make a decision. Do I like it or do I not? And for me, that's a great way to sort of keep my mind sharp and focused on what I need to focus on is to make my mind up with the relevant information. I don't like to leave things on an agnostic sort of trajectory. It's the same thing that I've recently had with religion and with God. For a long time I was agnostic on the subject. I didn't know whether I was for or against, but I realised that was causing a lot of unnecessary uncertainty in my life. So I decided to make the decision that I do believe in God, and that I believe God has a plan for me, and that He's laid down parts in my life and challenges in my life for me to understand where I'm supposed to go, and that makes my life so much more straightforward moving forward. If there's a certain matter in your life that you keep like going back and forth on, I challenge you to sit down and make a decision. Are you for this or are you against this? Like I said before, maybe you don't agree with everything. I certainly don't agree with everything in Christianity, but I know I believe in God, and that's how I cultivate my philosophy. I decide on certain topics whether I'm for, against, or if I have no opinion. That allows me to move forward, and if something I have no opinion on further comes into my life and I can't seem to get it out of my eyesight and out of my mind, then I decide, right, I need to make a decision on that. And the quicker you do that, the simpler your life will be, and the more easily you can carry a strong philosophy that you truly believe in. There's no point in being some wishy-washy motherfucker who doesn't understand this, doesn't know where he stands on this subject and that subject, because then you have no substance. You don't have anything that you believe in. Once you have something that once you have clear opinions on different matters, or maybe there's some matters that you don't have any opinion on, like some random shit that doesn't matter, like, do you like the new Call of Duty? I don't give a fuck, I don't care. I'm not going to make a decision on that because it's not worth my time. It doesn't affect my philosophy. So you need to, in fact, I'm going to retitle this video and say this is how to cultivate your own philosophy. You have to look at certain matters that are interesting to you, that are constantly in your life, like big decisions, and decide whether you're for or against certain matters. That's all I'm going to say in this video. Yes, no, no opinion. Simple as that. See you in the next video.